Hey everybody, it's MyOhMyke, and we're going to be playing EarthBound Pajama % today. And I'm just going to double check the names here. There were bid wars up for the to name the characters, your favorite food, your favorite thing, all those sorts of things. Just going to make sure here before I hit start that I've got them in correctly, because that is going to be much harder to fix once we're 15 minutes into the run. That looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and start the timer here at 3, 2, 1, and go. And I need to turn the global hotkeys on locally. There we go. EarthBound Pajama % is kind of a unique category, especially compared to the more mainstream categories for EarthBound. We're going to be making use of multiple save games in order to abuse what is known as the stairs glitch quite frequently throughout the run, in order to let us go out of bounds and go pretty much anywhere we want to go. But we're going to be seeing that right off right at the start of the run here, because the first thing we're going to do is, as soon as we get control of Ness here, is we're going to hit reset, because that's a great way to start off any speedrun, is to about 30 seconds in, minute in, is smash that reset button. But that's just how it goes with EarthBound. At least for Pajama %. As soon as Ness's feet touch the floor, the game makes a save there in the background for you in case something terrible happens in the prologue and you end up getting a game over. It has something to go back to for you. So we're going to take advantage of that and go right over here back to our second save file, which is already set up to do the stairs glitch, which is actually quite easy to do. You just need to get a game over while walking on a set of stairs. It's very aptly named. It's not hard to do at all. But when you get a game over on the stairs, the game doesn't turn off whatever code is in the background that lets you walk on stairs. And in order to walk on stairs, the game has to let you walk through walls a little bit. And normally you're walking through walls, but you're on a very precise railway to walk through those walls on. When you get a game over, you're still able to walk through walls, but you're not on the stairs anymore, so you can go out of bounds just like this. And I realize the whole screen is black right now. We're walking off into the void. It's really hard to tell which direction I'm actually moving in, but I'm actually moving straight to the south. And we're going to be moving south until about 3 minutes 15 seconds on the clock. And then we should start seeing some other buildings. The entire world of EarthBound is packed onto one gigantic map. Every city, every building, shop, magic ant, all of it. Everything in the whole game's on one big map. So if you're able to walk through all the walls, you can literally walk from anywhere in the game to anywhere else you want to in the game, just walking there in a straight line. The problem is that EarthBound only loads in the graphics it needs for the room that you've just entered. So right now the only graphics that are loaded in are whatever shares a graphics pack or a tile set with Ness's bedroom. There's going to be certain other houses, a couple of different hallways, things like that. So whatever cave I'm in now, I may physically be there, but I can't see it, and if I can't see it, I can't interact with it, which in this case is fantastic. But at some point in the run, we're going to do something to let us have a little bit more freedom in where we can go. So we're in Orange Kid's house, Apple Kid's house, and we're going to keep heading south here. What I'm actually looking for is a hospital, but not this one. Not this one. One more down. These two rooms look identical, but they're in very different places. This one puts us in Threed. So now, we've successfully escaped our bedroom with our pajamas on, which is the main goal, the objective in Pajama %. We're trying to beat the game without changing out of our pajamas. If you haven't played EarthBound casually before, you are missing out. But one of the first things that happens is you go out to investigate that big crash we heard at the start of the game. But before you can leave the house, your mother makes you change into some normal clothes like a normal person. You can't go out in your pajamas. But that's what we want to do in this category. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of sequence breaking, lots of out-of-bounds play. because we essentially skipped the entire prologue, which has some other consequences as well. Get stuck on a bus stop. But our first thing we're gonna do is head over to 3 and go back to the hotel with this lovely lady, and get mugged by a whole bunch of zombies and ghosts and stuff. Because Ness is a person who makes good life choices. Now, it looks like Paul is here, but if I would open the party member, she's not actually in the party. And the game is just hard scripted to play this cutscene at this point. Regardless of the fact that we don't have our full party with us. So now we're gonna play as Jeff for a little bit, and we're gonna get stopped by our friend Tony, our best good buddy pal, who won't let us leave completely unarmed. We're gonna stop by the locker room and pick up some items before we go. Which means we gotta get a key for the locker room from the professor here, who I think goes unnamed. I certainly don't know what his name is. It's probably in the credits, but I don't think we learn his name in the course of the game. But I got the key to the locker room. He also says right there, if we ever need to save the game, we can call him and he'll save the game. Which is great, because we've skipped the prologue. So Ness never gets a phone call from his dad, so we never get Ness's dad's phone number. So Ness actually can't save the game. The only person who can save the game is Jeff, by calling his professor. And then the key we got was no good, so now we gotta get the bad key machine, which is a machine that opens doors, especially when you have a slightly bad key. Because this game likes making you backtrack a little bit, for the sake of a good joke sometimes. The only thing we wanted was the pop gun. Which we're never actually going to shoot the pop gun. We're going to sell it at some point. As you might imagine, like in most RPG speedruns, keeping track of your money and getting a certain amount of money is very, very important to be able to continue on along your run. But, Jeff can go out of bounds too, so we're going to set up a stairs glitch for him as well. Ooh, I got stuck on the corner. Oh, look at me. The only trick with the stairs glitch is you have to get, like, on the staircase. Which seems intuitive enough, but if you're actually only on the edge of the staircase, the game will let you think it's working, and then it will, at some point, just snap you all the way back to that staircase. You have to make sure you're in the middle of it, or you're not going to get the teleport that you want. There we go. And right now we can only really see like drugstores and certain other stores, which is okay because we're actually headed to the drugstore in Onat or Onat or 1T. But, we're here for the library to grab the town map. Oops. But as you can see when we go back outside, it's still nighttime in Onett. If I were to go up to try and go to Ness's house, I wouldn't be able to because the police are still there, the meteorite's still there, Pokey's looking for his brother, all of that stuff. The game is still waiting for us to finish the prologue. Which is only really important to note because you can't actually teleport to Onett unless you've been there in the daytime. So at no point in the game are we going to be able to teleport back to Onett. Right now, I'm trying to get Jeff back to Winters, which means I need to get hit here. There we go. And those sharks can be kind of silly. They're slightly tougher enemies, but it's still the start of the game, so from time to time they'll just literally waste a turn. Like, they'll just point and laugh at you. They'll call for help, which also doesn't deal damage, so when you're just trying to get a game over, they can be really trolly to you if the RNG is not in your favor. There we go. I'm just gonna go out of bounds one more time, and if you know the music for this game, you know I'm in Summers already, which is where I want to go. So if I open and close the map, that will reload the graphics and let me walk through this doorway, which is why we grabbed the town map. The other item you can use to do that is the Soundstone, but getting the Soundstone requires you to change into your regular clothes, so that's not an option for the Pajama percent speedrun. But if you want to play around with it casually, or just go goof around with the glitch, getting the Soundstone's a much better way to take advantage of it. Where's the space? There it is. There we go, guys. Oop, yep, there we go. Now you guys are in the game now, too. Hey, hey. The Mother series, one of the traditions isn't the word I'm looking for, but I believe in all three games in the Mother series, it at some point asks for the player's name, and in EarthBound it specifically says, hey you, the one holding the controller, I need to know your name for a school project, or whatever cockamamie reason they come up with. But that'll come up a little bit closer to the end of the game. The reason why we've come to Summers is, this nice young lady in the bottom right corner here is famous for making magic cake. I talked to this dude twice. Mashed a little bit too many times. There we go. And we'd like to try a slice of magic cake, please. That sounds really good. Maybe it's our birthday, maybe it's not. Magic cake sounds good, regardless. So she's gonna, leave the club meeting here, head back to her little cart here, out on a hot summer day, out by the beach, with all of, your cake baking ingredients that are left over and been staying in the heat for a little while. So again, because we are the master of life choices in this game, we take a little bit of this magic cake and it goes a little bit awry here. Because why meet your party members when you can just psychically connect with them through a dreamlike experience? Palace of HM Slave. His name may be Slave, but he's still the crown prince. Whoa! Whoa! Pooh is way more excited to find hidden items than Ness is. I mean, Ness finds little, like, birthday presents hidden everywhere, and he's just like, oh, whatever, I found a thing. He's like, oh man, whoa, there's a thing in here, and I'm gonna take it. But one of his items is a cup of life noodles, which is one of 2 resurrection items we're gonna get for the run. The other was a brain food lunch, which we're going to sell. I'm gonna grab this jar of jelly sauce to sell as well. Jelly sauce, not jelly sauce. And you're playing pre-sequence as normal. He's not going to go out of bounds or anything crazy like that. If you haven't played this before, Pooh's coming up here to meditate and finish his training. And one of the many distractions that are sent his way to try to interrupt his training is that guy saying, hey, you need to leave and go back to the palace. But you don't want to do that. If you do that, you fail your training. You have to start the whole Pooh sequence all over again. And then, he comes up here to meditate. He's visited by this spirit when he does. He's going to break our legs. And asks if we accept the breaking of our legs and the tearing off of our arms. It's a very violent sequence if you actually, read through the text. But you definitely don't want to mash B here. If you say no to anything, that's another way to fail your training. You have to start this whole sequence all over again, and that's a lot of backtracking. He takes off our legs, he takes our arms, he takes our ears, he takes our eyes. It's a violent sequence of events. Oop. I agree, Architect. This is one of my favorite parts of the game as well. It's a very happy-go-lucky, silly game. It doesn't take itself very seriously, and then for that one moment, it kind of changes its tone quite quickly. It just accentuates how Pooh's a very different character. And being from a different land than everybody else as well. Items and equipment and things of that nature, those also work differently with Pooh as well. You have to get special items in order to heal Pooh in battle with food and things like that. He comes from a far-off land, he just has different tastes, and you don't see that too often. Alright, I need to move a couple items around here. I need that couple life noodles, I need that brain food lunch. And I need to teleport to Winters. And you can see in the teleport list, I have Winters and I have the Lam, but I still can't teleport to Onat, even though we've been there. Oops, I need to do a little bit of shopping. I'm buying with $1 in my pocket. That's not going to work out so well. Sour jelly deli sauce. Sell a teddy bear. With the teddy bear. And we're gonna sell that pop gun that that Jeff got in the locker. I'm gonna trade all of those for skip sandwich deluxes. And we'll talk about those when we get to that skip in a couple of minutes. But grabbing the jar of deli sauce isn't in the actual notes. If you go and look up the notes for Pajama percent. What it is going to let me do is get one extra super bomb near the start of the run to make that quite a bit safer. But to continue my thought, What it also lets me do is when I buy and sell my items there, I can get 3 Skip Sandwich Deluxes, which is great, but I'm also only carrying around $1 in my pocket. If at any point in the game you game over, not only do you lose a fair amount of time, you lose half of the money you have in your pocket, and especially very early on in the speedrun, you need to keep track of your money. Losing a ton of money this early in the run pretty much means it's a reset. Like, you literally can't continue at that point if you can't get certain items. But we're gonna go out of bounds here to the Foreside Theater, and I do have the town map, but most of these places I'm walking through are caves that don't have maps, so I'm gonna have to listen to the music to know when to turn and figure out where I'm going. But yeah, I didn't mention at the time, but when Pooh teleports away, the game is just hard-coded to give you a party with all 4 of your party members in it, regardless of what else may have happened. Alright, now we're in the Foreside Theater, which does have a map, so I can load in that map, but we're not here to catch the show or go to Foreside. We're actually here to grab the Hawkeye, that's in the back end of the pyramid, and we're going to skip the whole pyramid to do it by using the Foreside Theater to line up that positioning there. You just line up at the top of the theater, keep moving west until it's off screen, and you make that little like lowercase L shape with your party, and in that general area is the Hawkeye. You can't see it, but you can still interact with it. Then you just head west until you hit Scaraba. And we just got Jeff in the party. In fact, we just got Pooh in the party. Pooh, in fact, united everybody. But we're not going to have him for very long. This is the one fight we're going to have him for at the moment. Don't do it. He missed. Good. The lethal Aspir has a chance to just straight up kill any one of my party members. If he kills Paula, if he kills Pooh, that's okay. Pooh has plenty of health. He'll probably survive the fight. If Paula misses out on this EXP, that's not the worst thing in the world. Problem is with Ness and Jeff, and there's a long level up sequence here, so I'm gonna have plenty of time to talk about this. But EarthBound has what's called a rolling hit point system, and you can probably see them counting up now. But when you take damage, you don't get all that damage immediately. Your HP will tick down one by one, down to whatever hit points you're supposed to be at. So if I take a massive amount of damage that's supposed to knock a character out, they'll still continue to get turns until they hit 0. So if you can either cast a healing spell on them, give them some food, or just finish the fight before they hit 0, they'll survive with however many hit points the meter's at that moment. Which saves you from having to level up quite so much, because you don't have to worry about surviving fights, you just have to survive to your next turn in some situations. The problem with Jeff is he only starts with 30 hit points, and he's my main damage dealer for the first boss fight. And 30 hit points is not enough time for me to scroll through all of the text that happens when he takes damage, and he'll just miss his turn. So if Jeff misses out this EXP, you can continue the run. You can just hope he doesn't take damage. But for a marathon like this, I'd reset back and go get the Hawkeye again, just to be safe. And Pooh's gonna lead the party here. For just a moment, I was like, did I remember to grab a cup of life noodles off of Pooh? But I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I remember saying that out loud now. Alright, you gotta make sure you grab this key from the dude here. It's the key to the Dungeon Man Tower. And the next 15, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, only 15 minutes or so are pretty... Oh, Helter Skelter, look at that. Got right around the camel. Because as we're about to find out, I'm way too underleveled for these fights. I'm not going to be able to fight my way out. And it's going to be very hard to run away. So we're probably going to eat a game over here. Which is fine. I can't remember the last time I got a PB in this category that didn't involve at least one game over like this in this section. So hopefully we'll have to do a little bit better job backtracking here for this section. There are no random encounters in EarthBound. There are only random enemy spawns. So if I see there was a UFO there, if I back up, keep going forward, he might not be there next time. Ooh, okay, let's get in this tower. Go. Alright, good. Now, it's not just that stretch of the game. Inside of Dungeon Man, we're gonna have the same issue. Definitely don't want to get in a fight! If they spawn in bad places, it's hard to find a hiding spot from these guys, so we may end up eating another death here. I'm gonna keep trying to run away, though. That's alright. This is why I gave a nice big pad to the estimate here. I had a feeling it was gonna be mean to me today. But as I was saying, hopefully the next only 15 minutes or so are going to be quite tense because of all of the combat I need to avoid. Oh man, come on. See, that UFO chased me a little bit, so I gotta back up even farther. Alright, we should be able to get in the tower. But that one present placement gets me pretty much every time. I'll be a little bit more careful here. Okay. Eye out. But again, remember back when I was talking about that first shopping trip, the way I set up my item route there was I had only $1 left in my pocket. And I'll probably still have $1. We can check. Yep, so I haven't actually lost any money. Even if I did, I would have only lost $1. That's not going to throw me off my money route all that much. So all the game overs are going to cost me is precious, precious time, of course. Alright. And ooh, look at that. That was a nice cliff skip there. Skip Sandwich Deluxes are bought because the added movement speed helps you be able to clip through certain corners in the game, like the one right there. It's called a cliff skip, and it lets us skip most of the Dungeon Man sequence and still be able to get a couple of items that we need to be able to sell. And I know you guys can't see your splits on my screen, but that really nice cliff skip meant I didn't lose nearly as much time as I was thinking I would with the 2 game overs. So that gets us through Dungeon Man, which means we only have the Deep Darkness left to go before we are back into relative safety. Both in a casual playthrough and even in air quote like regular, more mainstream category of an EarthBound speedrun, at this point in the game, when you come here, Nest will have teleport alpha at least. But we're not going to have that. We haven't even changed out of our pajamas yet, so unfortunately that means our only method of transportation through here is walking normally. And as you can see, walking through the muck here is very, very, very slow, especially in the deep stuff. And to make matters worse, enemies move at their normal speed. Oops, sell. see, the plush bear sells for 600. Just one of the items we got out of Dungeon Man. His Talisman Ribbon is a ton of money. I'm sure I've sold everything. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. Nope, broken break in. And what we're here for is mainly this multi-bottle rocket. Those are kind of like grenades in your Final Fantasy speedruns. Those are the items we use as damage dealing to kind of make up for our level difference. These super bombs help as well, but they're not nearly as much damage as the multi-bottle rockets. You know, see already what the enemy spawns. Look at that. That mole too. And the only thing you need a Hawkeye for is this. And I guess, technically speaking, you don't have to get the Hawkeye if you feel like doing this entire section of the game totally blind. I have no idea if the game is coded to stop you at some point without the Hawkeye or not. I'd like to sneak through this tree. Yes! Okay. What I've done is I've put myself in a pincer here. Got the eel to despawn, and the little mini barf on the right should despawn now. Alright. And this little tree line I'm hugging right now, it can be very trolly. Once or twice I've actually gotten into a fight with a tree that was hiding in the trees, which made me more than a little bit salty in the moment. Oh, go away, crocodile. See, what makes Deep Darkness even more frustrating in this category is I have to backtrack, and you move so slowly when you backtrack. It's a real pain in the neck. Nah, I don't trust it. I don't trust my luck. He will not go away. I'm gonna come all the way up here then. How about that? You're gonna go away now. Yay! Alright. I better back up. I better do that again. Yeah, it was a case of I couldn't see the trees for the forest. I was not too happy about that. I can despawn that guy by coming down here, I think. You know, I may have just thought wrong. I made a tree spawn. I made a belch spawn. Alright, awesome. The game's just gonna... This is how it's gonna be. All game, huh? That tree is in a bad spot. Alright, we made the belch disappear. I need to get up by that helicopter to grab a cup of life noodles. Unfortunately. So I do have to get up there. As a matter of fact, they're just blocking me off from continuing to begin with. Game is not being very nice with the spawns right now. Let me through! Alright. Alright, there we go. And I want to say, technically speaking, you could skip the cup of life noodles, but that's for people who are slightly better, braver, and I guess slightly better speedrunners than I am at the moment. I don't want to end up having to backtrack for that because I get into a fight and everybody's dead. That would be pretty bad. I'm pretty sure that croc is gone. Alright, let me throw a heal up. Oh, wait, hold on. What am I doing? I gotta backtrack here. You just get one clean little section. Alright, now I got a crocodile I got up. Yeah, I better get rid of that croc. Because when I would go to keep going west, he would probably get unstuck from the tree and come and get me. so just we'll get everybody. Alright. You know, at some point... also, the issue is, you have to move, as you can see, you have to move them a little bit farther than just off the edge of the screen for them to despawn. I'm getting real friendly with this tree right now. Come on now. Alright. Wait, spoke too soon. Hand up in my big fat mouth. There we go. Man, oh man. Alright, one last little stretch. And then we'll, the speedrun will kick in a little bit more of a higher gear. There won't be so much of this, little back and forth after this. Because we're about to get Pooh back into the party. Make sure, yeah, got the multi-bottle rocket on the right person. The multi-bottle rockets do a ton more damage than super bombs, but the only person who could throw them is Jeff. So you gotta make sure you got it on the right person there. Drown to death and puke! It's an incredibly masculine taunt. And we're gonna throw that multi-bottle rocket. And he ended up not doing damage on the first turn, which is great. Nice. Got a nice high damage roll on the bomb, too. That was, what, 1,300? It can do up to, I think, 1,500. It can also do as little as 700, which is why you bring 2 super bombs. If you can. Just in case you get a really lousy damage roll. You can also end up in a situation where 2 super bombs and a multi-bottle rocket don't actually finish the boss. In which case you kind of just, you know, throw your hands up and try and eke out the last little bit of damage you need. So much level up text. But then we get Pooh back in the party now, which is great because Pooh actually knows teleport. And I can't teleport to the Tenda village, because I haven't been there yet, but I can cast teleport and get the nice big fat movement speed bonus. Not only does it let you move at teleport speed, even in the swamp, while you're teleporting, enemies can't move, so you cannot actually get into an encounter during your teleport. You can actually run into them during your teleport, which can be kind of bad. But if you feel like you're about to run into an encounter, you can actually teleport and move away, or move around it. And having Pooh for this whole sequence would be a nice big fat time save, but fortunately we're not able to do things that way. Almost done leveling up. Side Magnet, then we learn, I think, Brainstorm. And that should be it after Brainstorm. Let's see. Brain Shock. Brain Shock, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, now watch. Now the problem with teleport is you don't want to actually finish casting. If you actually finish casting, we'll get through this whole section again. That is not... I thought it was further north than that. So I'm gonna crash every now and then on purpose, just to make sure I don't actually finish teleporting. And we're about to hit dry ground, so I'm just gonna walk it out from here. Oh! I want to get around that corner there. Alright, that should get us past that last little bit of enemy spawns. What a trolly game, right? Alright. So we've been to the Tenda village, which flags a number of different event triggers. So now we can go and get the library book, Overcoming Shyness, to bring that to the Tenda Village. It triggers these couple of blocks of text here, but we're not actually going to deal with any of these events for a little while. DSP! And since we haven't actually technically funded either one of the Apple Kid or Orange Kid, the game I think gives us both lines of text. Now we're gonna head to Winters. Sheesh. And we don't have to cross there ever again. Next time we go to the Tenda Village, we can just teleport to the Tenda Village. It's great. And when we teleport to Deep Darkness, it'll just be to go see the Black Arms Salesman at the start. Let me check my skip sandwiches. I've got 2. So we're good to go. And then we're going to take another trip out of bounds. Boop, boop. Alright. Nope. As far as, you know, the kind of tear your hair out levels of RNG, we're past pretty much all of it at this point. Especially as far as enemy spawns go. It's not going to be nearly as bad for the rest of the game. Where am I going? I'm going to the Mouse House over by Tucson. We're going to go pick ourselves up an exit mouse. Now we can go right to the Mouse House because it's right about here-ish. Here's the doorway. See, even now, even though we've advanced the story a little bit, still nighttime in on that. We're coming to Tucson just so now we can teleport to Tucson later when we need to. That's not the teleport spell I want. I want the Winter's teleport spell. Because we're gonna go out of bounds once again. Set. And then next we're gonna head to Happy Happy Village, where everything is blue. Blue, 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 blue. And if I remember correctly, I think we actually stay in bounds for a little bit after that. Splits here. Make sure I'm not through my teeth there. Oh no, one more big out of bounds trip and then we'll stay in bounds for a while. Let's see. North. Wait for the drugstore to leave the screen. And you head northwest. Here we go. Now, the level, our party's level, when we come here, is kind of in a weird place. You can see the first mole ran away, second mole's gonna come right at me. These fights, I'm high enough level where I'll clear these guys out pretty quickly, but I'm not high enough level where running away is a surefire thing. So if I was able to run away on the first turn, that would be faster every time, but you don't get that kind of good luck. So I kind of just auto-fight everything and just take the fights that I end up running into. Ooh, if I saw there were 2 of them, I would have used PK Fire. That's right. Got 2 skip sandwiches for this one. I'm gonna do a cliff skip here as well. There we go. The movement speed bonus should let us get away from that bear. Alright, good. They're on one line, so I'm gonna manly attack here. We should be able to clear out the mole right here. Usually there's a bear right there. Yeah. Oh, poo miss. This is gonna take 2 rounds. Oh, no. Ness, no. Ness, swing at the bear, Ness. I'm gonna make it. This is our first Sanctuary boss fight against Mondo Mole. Bash. PK Starstorm. Because I'm out of Super Bombs, unfortunately. Guess we'll throw PSI memes at it, too. There we go. Usually, auto attacks are good enough to clean it up. But not too scary. Boss fight's not too scary this early in the game. Now, did miss Portal, a little bit of a change in the schedule. I am excited to see Portal as well. I think it's like I haven't actually seen this category. I think it's like air trucking percent or something like that. I didn't mean to go to the drugstore. It's air something, but I haven't heard of it. And anytime there's something new to see in Portal, I'm always interested in seeing that. And this is our first little what the heck is going on moment of Pajama percent. There are 2 Paulas. There's the Paula who's in our party, and then there's the Paula who's still been locked up by Car Painter and wants us to rescue her. So she gives us the Franklin badge to go fight Car Painter with. But we're gonna say goodbye to Paula because Paula in the cage is never going to leave the cage. We already have ourselves 1 Paula, and we don't need 2 Paulas, so that's quite unfortunate for her. But she gives us the Franklin badge. She's really, really hopeful that we're gonna save her. But, that's alright. I'm sure she'll be okay. Pull out our money here. What's my skip like sandwich at? 1? I better buy 3. That's 2. That's 3. 4. And now we'll save and get ready to go out of bounds again. Yup. Yeah, also ignoring Pokey, by teleporting through the trigger. It's important to note that even if you teleport out of the area where you think the cutscene would start, if you crash and burn that teleport, Pokey's still gonna walk up to you wherever you are on the map. He'll just walk all the way over to you and taunt you and start the fight. The only way to escape it is to actually complete the teleport. And next we're headed all the way back to Threed, which is quite a long walk. And oh, see, now let me explain what happened here. I'm back in Summers, and I'm stuck on this staircase. Because, as I mentioned, if you don't quite get in the middle of the staircase, that is what happens. This stair glitch, this very, very easy to do stairs glitch, is just kicking my butt today. You really gotta get in the middle of the staircase, and I thought I was okay. I thought I was at least 2 steps down, like 2 on-screen steps down, but apparently it wasn't centered enough. Alright. Let's try that one more time. So we're gonna head to Threed, which is definitely a long walk from the Winter's Drugstore. And most of it's going to be a blind walk, so we're going to be listening to the music for changes again. And the soundtrack in EarthBound is fantastic. I really love this soundtrack. And I really like this game in general. I never really wanted to learn how to speedrun EarthBound until I saw there was a Pajama %. And it's just a goofy enough category. I feel like it kind of fits with the whole mood of the game, where it doesn't really take itself seriously. It's a very fun, upbeat kind of game. So something kind of goofy like Pajama % sounded like a lot of fun. But you also get to hear quite a bit of the music in this weird little like stop and go medley. So we're back in Deep Darkness. And Threed is just south of Deep Darkness. Right here. This time, we're gonna head over to these zombies that ratted us out and started the game. We're just gonna go down this stepladder behind them. And as we go through this little section, especially if you've played up this game a ton before, or if you speedrun this game, you know something a little bit different with this little underground passage of the game. But I'll wait till we get to the boss fight to point it out. Now there's this scripted forced fight here at the end against a little mini puke belch guy. But what is different about Pajama % is there were no enemy spawns at all in that cave system. You're definitely supposed to be able to be forced to... I better just defend with him. Oh, I can do math. I had enough. That's okay. There are definitely supposed to be enemies that spawn there, but because we skipped the prologue, for whatever reason, the game skips over whatever little event trigger it has in memory to make enemies spawn for most of the game. For whatever the reasoning is, there's still enemies in the desert and in Deep Darkness, which is very unfortunate because Deep Darkness in particular is a terrible place to have to dodge enemies. But for most of the rest of the game, we're not going to have to worry about enemies spawning. Which is really nice. I don't have to worry about despawning enemies, I don't have to worry about back attacks, I don't have to worry about losing people. You can really just focus on, you know, keeping ready for your boss fights, getting your cliff skips, those sorts of things that would be useful in other categories as well. Pajama % is probably a very good way to start learning other EarthBound categories, just because it gives you a chance to practice some boss strategies. They're probably a little bit different, but learn how the game works, learn how the cliff skips work, those kinds of things. I'm pretty sure that, especially Glitchless, though, does not sequence break nearly as much as Pajama %. But it does make use of... You know what? I don't know if Glitchless uses Cliff Skip or not. I don't know the other categories as well as I know Pajama %. I'm pretty sure one of the other categories makes a lot of use out of cliff skip. It's hard to get over to this left section unless you're leaving from the house, or the store rather. But this is our next cliff skip. It's right here, just to the left of the Saturn Valley store. Trying to get into that big open grassy area to the north here. Ooh, got a good one. Got on the first sandwich. This one is a little bit trickier, as you can see. I still got skip on. See, I'm like half a step in. That's not good enough. Come on. Come on. Oh, shoot. Alright. I was like halfway there and I bounced myself out. So if I get that close again, I'm gonna use a slightly different strategy here. This cliff skip in particular can be pretty difficult. It can be very, very stingy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Ness. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is intentionally bonk this teleport, and sometimes the game will just let you walk right on through when you do that. Rather than just burn a ton of my skip sandwiches. What you do need to do is keep an eye on Pooh's Psycho Point count, though, because he needs to throw out a Starstorm in the next fight. And especially if you have him use Starstorm on the mini belch, he may be pretty close to not having enough to cast the spells that you need. Grab this. That kind of slumber is very important for your money rod. I think it's like 3,000 bucks. Well, most of the stuff you're casting on this turn is targets everything, but just Bottle Rocket can only hit one target, so you want to make sure you throw it on the boss. Otherwise, there's a chance you'll completely annihilate one of his little underlings, but do no damage to the boss, which is the only thing that matters. Oh, I guess he could cast, huh? And he's got enough for another Starstorm, which should definitely finish him off. Yeah! What is next? Next, we're headed back to Winters, but not to go out of bounds. We're actually headed to Winters to go get the Sanctuary in Winters, and then head over to Andonut's lab. But there's one slight little problem. If you've played EarthBound before, you'll remember that in order to actually get back here to fight Trillionage, first you have to go through Belch's factory and save all the Mr. Saturns. And, you know, they're so happy to be reunited and free, and in their excitement, in order to celebrate, they'll finish building all the ladders and things like that, so you'll have access to the hot springs and to this cave. But we skipped the factory, so none of the ladders have been built, so I can't just walk out of this section. I have to find a place to teleport. I have to teleport to the deep darkness first. And there's a very small window. Nice, where you can teleport from that section. You have a little bit more room there than you think you would. Oh wow, that's coin of someone's only 750 bucks. Man, what is the big ticket item I was thinking of? Probably the Death Ray. No? Maybe we didn't get it yet. Ah, souvenir coin. Okay. I think we're done selling stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna buy... 1, 2, 3, 4 multi-bottle rockets. I don't know why I counted that out like I'm the count from the Muppets. And then we're gonna buy a couple of super bombs as well. I am $1 short for another super bomb, aren't I? Watch this. Bam! Sell that protractor. How many skips do I have? I've got 2. That should be plenty for a little while. Ooh, actually, well, nope, I'm gonna want at least 1 more. Alright. I've got some money in the bank because I just fought Flying Edge. I'll just hit the ATM real quick. Because there's another cliff skip we have to do, and this one is pretty difficult, so I'd like the extra cash on, or the extra sandwiches on hand. Alrighty-o. So we're not going out of bounds through the stairs glitch, at least, is what I should have said. We're gonna go out of bounds by teleporting, bonking against the wall, and forcibly shoving ourselves through the barrier there. So now we're out of bounds in Winters. So we're able to skip the Tessie Watching Club, we're able to skip Tessie, we're able to skip the accursed Bubble Monkey, which is actually really cute, but also very, very slow and annoying. Walk all the way around the lake. It seems a lot longer than it actually is because of the slow cutscene, all the way straight to the sanctuary. Hip, 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 hooray! But now I gotta get back in bounds. And this cliff skip is probably the most difficult one. Oh, thank goodness. It is a good day. There is a tutorial. I'm going to put air quotes around tutorial video for that cliff skip that Felix posted, where it's him finding the one godlike pixel where you just go through it perfectly like a hot knife through butter, and absolutely no description of how to find where that one pixel is. It's just like a 15-second clip of him just nailing the trick perfectly. Oh no. No. Jeff! Why now, Jeff? Why would you do this to me now, Jeff? Oh, we just lost a multi-bottle rocket. Okay. I've got to think on my feet here a little bit. Jeff got confused and wasted a multi-bottle rocket on Ness. You could see the rolling HP action in work, because look at that. Ness took 2,000 damage and survived. That's great, but I am short a multi-bottle rocket now. Trying to think. Where is that gonna screw me over? What boss fights are up ahead? I don't need it for Starman Deluxe. We're okay there. I don't need it for Onet. We're okay there. Oh, for the Lumine Hall. Okay. When can I go back and pick up that multi-bottle rocket? Because we are gonna need another one for that. After Starman Deluxe, before I go to Onet, I'll just have to teleport there and get one. Oh, favorite food is your mom. Oh boy. Please be caught a whiff of your mom. Wait. Alright. Yeah, we'll just have to go pick up an extra multi-bottle rocket, and that may throw off the money route quite a bit, but nothing we can't, not a problem we can't kick down the road a little bit. He felt like this! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. But yeah, the Apple Kid, before Apple Kid got kidnapped, he's able to finish work on his latest invention, which is the Eraser, which is a machine that erases erasers. But don't get confused, because the Eraser is not an eraser. Oh, but, well, There's a very short clip of it there, but Pajama Nest is not supposed to leave his house, so he doesn't have any sprites for climbing ladders and such. The eraser, however, erases statues that are shaped like erasers, so you can get through that little roadblock. There's also a pencil eraser in the game, but we skipped that section of the game entirely in this speedrun. Orange Kid, meanwhile, if you give your money to Orange Kid, because he seems like the better inventor, he spends the entire game working on his invention that returns boiled eggs back to being raw eggs. Raw, regular old eggs. For what purpose, I have no idea. I'm not even going to get into the specifics of how that would work. It's really more of a question of why you would want to do that. But that's what he spends the whole game doing, which does you absolutely no good. And again, no enemies here in the Starman base, which is great because this place would be an absolute train wreck with enemies. Gotta remember to go to make the extra shopping trip here. And we'll be able to see here better on the ladder. And Ness just walks down it normally, you know, backwards of how one might normally walk down a ladder. If Pajama Ness gets knocked out, there's also not a sprite for him to turn into an angel because a knocked out Pajama Ness is usually just a game over. So instead he'll do this weird zombie walk as the last member of your party, where he walks around kind of like he's, you know, paralyzed or drunk or something. Yeah, give me one of the exit mice. Thank you. One more little section here before the Starman fight. I remember to make that extra shopping trip. Definitely don't want to go into don't really want to go to the mine hall short of multi-bottle rocket. Super bomb. Does she have one? Oh, she does. Hey. Good, he's got one too. You don't want to use your psychic powers on Starman Deluxe. He will reflect the damage back at you. See, everybody's taking mortal damage, but it's gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna get their turns out regardless. And in fact, Paula survives with 1 hit point. Because she hadn't technically been knocked out yet. So everybody's gonna get EXP. Oh, good. Now it's highlighted in chat. Thank you. Oh, good. That's good. I'm definitely gonna wait. Yeah. Oh yeah, the count is Sesame Street. Oh jeez. Yeah, I just saw that in chat. Yeah. Count. You also definitely want to make sure you talk to Dr. Anna that's there, or you get to walk all the way back through the base again. Which is a sad, lonely day. Alright, gotta hit the ATM first, and then we gotta go to Deep Darkness. Bummer. You know, I wonder if I can just do an extra... I don't want to get confused about where I am in my shopping trip later. I'm making the extra trip now. I better just pick up as many multi-bottle rockets as I can. I'll just have to do the math later. Okay, I don't have nearly enough. Alright, back to Winters. It'll save us a little bit of time in the menu later, at least, if nothing else. Oh, that was unfortunate. Alright, we're gonna save the game, head out of bounds, and we're headed to Titanic Ant this time, which is normally the first one in the process, so this boss fight's super easy. I don't need the multi-bottle rockets for this fight, but the one afterward I am gonna need them. What am I doing? Yes. Oh no. Yes. I know where I'm going. I know exactly where I'm going. Yeah. Headed to Annette. And the fastest way... Excuse me. The fastest way to get to Annette is actually head back to the Happy Village drugstore and move up about 2 rooms from there. And then you'll hear the Traveler Shack music. I did not grab an exit mouse. That's alright. This is still the fastest way here. But I was thinking so much about the multi-bottle rocket. You can grab an exit mouse before you come here, and it's still faster than the old way we would come to Onett for this fight. But we'll just have to walk it out like normal. That won't be a big deal. There we go. Move. Now I have to go to the Onett library. I still cannot teleport to Onett. So we gotta walk our way back out and head over to the library. I don't know what I got stuck on. I think one of the most satisfying things early on in the game when you play casually is that the long hard fight you had to get up to the Titanic Ant at the start of the game, when you have to worry about all the random encounters and stuff, and you're still playing as Ness by himself. He doesn't have any party members yet. But then on your way out from the fight, all the enemies just start running away from you instead of running up to you. It always feels good when the enemies are like, I want no part of that, no way, and they just, step aside for the king a little bit. I do kind of miss that in this category, with the enemy spawns being turned off. There's the shiniest book. Now we're gonna head to the I don't trust myself. We're gonna head to the Tenda village. Not having to walk through deep darkness at all. You hand you have Ness give the book to any other party member first before you hand it over, because when you give the Tenda Chief the book, he gives you this Tenda Kraut in return, and Ness doesn't have the extra inventory space to carry around too many dead items. So moving it to somebody else first before you hand it over saves you like one extra thing that you have to move in the menu later when we go to sort our inventory. Say Fuzzy Pickles! And this is the one photograph we're gonna get in this category. And this is also your last chance to change the player name. And if you ever want to pick up the speedrun, especially, the Tenda Chief will give you an extra bag of Dragonite, but it's a separate conversation from the rest of it. It looks like it's kind of seamless and all part of one big chunk of text, but you do need to talk to him a second time to get it. There we go. Before this boss fight, we're gonna walk right by it and go pick up the rabbit charm here. The rabbit's foot here. Give that to Jeff. It greatly increases your speed, which will help Jeff go first in battle, and will also help him with his accuracy on those multi-bottle rockets, especially at the end of the game. That's not good. Have not had Jeff take fatal damage there before. But he has plenty of hit points to tick through. So the rolling HP comes in handy there. Poor Jeff never gets that, like right there I was talking over it, the little level up jingle for when you learn new psychic abilities. Jeff never gets that because he has no psychic abilities. Poor guy. Level gems are, you know, they're important. And could you imagine, like, Final Fantasy without the victory fanfare? Or the level up fanfare? It's a totally different game. I'm DSP. Must be stuck in a loop here. I said earlier I love the EarthBound soundtrack. This track, not one of the standout performers. And now we're headed to the underground, and again, Pajama not supposed to be able to leave his room, so yeah. The underworld, rather, pardon me. I think I said underground. Yeah, we have a gigantic sized nest and little itty bitty party members. And again, because it's supposed to indicate like the grandiose scale of where we are, I assume. Everybody's very, very small, and you get the slower movement speed through here as well. So we'll be teleporting through here. Oof. Not as good of a teleport as I wanted there. And again, gotta be careful not to actually finish casting this. Ooh! I wanted to just dodge the one tree. I'm gonna get clear of these trees. I'm just gonna bonk a bunch otherwise. Come on. Right there in that little section, it's very, very easy to actually cast teleport because you actually have so much open space in that area. It's very easy to just get ahead of yourself and whoop, you go back to start you go. And now we've gone inside the fire spring, and then we left the fire spring. But we went through the entrance of the fire spring, which is going to be important. There might be a pop quiz later. Just keep that in mind. We went through... we entered the fire spring. ATM. Yeah, thanks to the extra shopping trip, I don't get to pull out like something like 15 grand from the ATM all at once there, sadly. Which just looks ridiculous. Yeah, your account shows an balance of $15,500. I'd like all of it, please. In 20s, of course. It's a fat wad of cash you gotta carry around. And we're gonna go pick up an exit mouse. Whoop. Alright, Alright, so now I'm supposed to have 7 multi-bottle rockets, and I've made an extra shopping trip, so I don't want to actually buy 7 of them here. Not that I'd ever be able to afford it at this point. I should have 7 on hand, so I don't have to actually do the math. Or rather, I don't have to remember how many I bought before. I just need to end up with 7 in my pocket. Nah, I didn't want to hit that first, but that's okay. Let's see, how many does Jeff have? 1, 2, 3, I need to buy 4 more. 1, 2, ha ha ha. 3, Yes, I need to sell, and here's a moment of truth. How far behind my cash route am I right now? Am I in trouble? 4. So I have enough multi-bottle rockets. The problem is everything else I need for the run. No, don't sell the sea pendant. Oh my gosh, don't sell the sea pendant. Oh, that would be bad. I have nothing else to sell except these 2 cups of life noodles, which really isn't a ton. I didn't mean to sell that. Where'd that couple of life noodles go? How many skip sandwiches do I have on hand? I've got 3. That's gonna have to be enough. I have 1 super bomb, which I'd like at least 1 more. I have nothing else to sell. We're gonna be short 1 super bomb. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. We're gonna be short a super bomb. That's good. And I can't buy any extra skip sandwich deluxes, which I like to do. It's not at all necessary, but it's good to be able to do that. So we're gonna need some really nice damage rolls when we get to Magic Hand. That's for sure. But we're gonna head out of bounds one more time. This time we're gonna head to Fourside, not the Fourside Theater, actually the city of Fourside. Jumped a little bit there. Boom, 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 boom. Did we pass through Dalam? Yeah. And shortly after we should hit Fourside. Go. Now, we've come into the sewers, but we went through the exit of the sewer. I did grab an exit mouse, didn't I? I didn't grab an exit mouse? Why didn't I grab an exit mouse? I swore I grabbed an exit mouse. It must be on Paula. I'm gonna be really upset if I didn't grab an exit mouse. I swore I grabbed an exit mouse. Aw, man. I'm about to be really upset with myself in a minute, aren't I? I'm gonna be very upset with myself. Grab the key. Also, that carrot key is super duper important. You definitely do not forget to grab a carrot key. That's the worst thing ever. There's my exit mouse. But again, the exit mouse takes you all the way to the fire spring. Because the last cave entrance I went in, the last dungeon entrance I went into, was in the fire spring. We didn't go through the entrance to go into the sewer, so the location for the exit mouse never changed. So you have to come all the way back to the fire spring. You don't have to walk through the underworld to do it again, which is very nice. Not that it saves us an extra trip or anything, but it lets us... Wow, where am I going? It lets us go shopping before we come out to the Diamond Dog fight. Up the ladder. Up the rope, rather. And for this Diamond Dog fight, we're definitely going to take advantage of rolling hit points, especially on the first turn. Because Jeff is at full health, and I'm going to cast heal on him anyway. That's not heal. Rather, life up. There's so many weird names for these spells. I missed a split. Freeze. Rocket. Freeze on both. Yep, freeze for both of these guys. Because he's going to shoot this multi-bottle rocket, and then he's going to get reflected back about 1,000 damage. Yep. But I need him to throw a second multi-bottle rocket, so he's got to survive. Now, he only has one more multi-bottle rocket to throw, so if he dies at this point. And he's gonna die. 970 damage. And you can see when the heal spell actually cast, Jeff was all the way down to about 9 hit points. That's okay. We don't need you anymore right now, Jeff. Did not get great damage rolls, so it's gonna take a third round of turns here. But Jeff is down to like 9 hit points. So if I had done anything like cast Starstorm instead of freeze, the extra length of the Starstorm animation might have meant Jeff didn't make it, and that's the ball game. That's the end of the boss fight right there. Missing that second multi-bottle rocket is way too much damage to have to scrape around for. Sometimes, if you're ahead of the money a little bit, or in certain other situations, you can get an extra multi-bottle rocket and be able to throw 3 at Diamond Dog, which can save you a fair amount of time. Certainly better, you don't have to worry about damage rolls as much, but that's a pretty expensive extra there. I usually only go in with 2. You know, I never noticed it until now, but does anybody else see a face at the top of the volcano, like looking off and to the left, with like a little hand reaching up to pick a booger out of its nose, like in the lava? I know I'm walking away from it because it's a speedrun. I don't want to stick around, but you can see it on these other volcanoes too. Am I crazy? Am I the only one seeing it? I think we might go past one more. Yeah, look, right there. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Get the Yoshi bongos going. Alright. So I got the carrot key. Now we're gonna head to the Lam. And this is the last sanctuary. Last sanctuary we need before we head to Magic Hand. coming close to the end of it here. Oop. Where's the Kirky? Ooh. Go, kiss me, go! Yeah! So that is all 8 Sanctuary Guardians defeated. Nice little bit of level up text here. But for the next section of the game, Ness is about to be playing by himself, so I need to manage my inventory a little bit here. Give that away. Give that away. I don't really have too many items to give him, though. Because the money rock got messed up a little bit. Do I have any extra super bombs? No extra super bombs. I do need to give him this rabbit's foot. She needs to put on. Yep, he's got Sea Pen, he's got Rabbit's Foot. We pick up the bat in Magic Can't. He's got the Franklin Badge, he's got as many skips as I have, he has the 1 Super Bomb I have. Yep, he's as ready as he's ever gonna be for this. So I'm gonna need some real nice damage rolls when we get to the next boss fight. Because, again, I don't have my dad's phone number, so I can't save the game, even in Magic Can't. You know what? I don't think I ever tried to save in Magic Can't in Pajama %. I've always assumed that I can't, but if I can, I am going to. Because not being able to save here means that if I get to Ness's Nightmare and the boss fight goes badly, if I lose the boss fight, my last save was before the Plague Rat of Doom fight. So I'd have to do the Plague Rat fight, I'd have to do Diamond Dog, I'd have to do the Thunder and Storm. The last 3 boss fights I just did, I'd have to do all of those all over again. Because if the first boss fight doesn't go well, I don't get my items back. I'm just completely defenseless against Ness's Nightmare. So that's not really gonna work. So I'm gonna try to save, but I've got the feeling I can't for some reason. And generally speaking, you can get your way through Ness's Nightmare without too many issues, but that's like that's what, 15 minutes at least since my last save at this point. Yeah, I think it's worth spending like 30 seconds to try to save the game just in case something really, really stupid happens. Boom, boom, boom. I think DSP is the right name for him. You think he likes his name? I hope Dale won't be jealous of him, the dog. That's odd. The baby bottle he pointed at seemed to move a little bit. Oh my gosh. Shock and all. Panic. And welcome to Magic Can't. Boom, boom. See down here, some might say are some familiar looking flowers. Nope, I cannot save the game at the phone. Isn't there somewhere else I could say? Nope. Yeah, we cannot save the game, so it is YOLO time. Hey, this is gonna be so good. I am so looking forward to this. Being short some damage items. Oh man. You can just hear the confidence in my voice right now. Alright. Make sure I got my rabbit's foot on, and I do. Oh. Oh, kid! Haha! I was gonna say get wrecked, but really got dodged, and it just doesn't have the same ring to it. That's right. The rabbit's foot, the extra speed from the rabbit's foot helps me to run away from a lot of things in this section of the game. There are certain enemies that I need to either paralyze or hypnotize before I try to run away. See, and I used my area of effect paralyzed because I knew he was going to call for help. Because he likes doing that on his first turn. Pretty much all the presents here are going to be fake. I'm going to grab this butterfly since I've already had to burn one of my big spells. Good, let's get away. I probably won't end up needing it, but I'm being safe. Because I am short that one damage item, so I may end up needing the extra psychic points in the end. Wow, where are all the enemies? That was the biggest empty section of enemies I've ever seen. We're gonna hypnotize the French kiss. I'm gonna try and run away. I'll try one more time. And then if not, I'll have to try and paralyze that guy. Yeah. He's being stingy. I should be able to run away now. Yeah. These will be the little... Yeah, Mr. Molecules. These guys are cute. They also start the battle... I forget what the condition is called. But they're not thinking straight, so they're having a hard time focusing on their psychic abilities. So they're gonna start off completely wasting their first 3 turns. There we go. We can get out. They are being stingy about letting me run away, though. Yeah, there we go. Let me go, let me go. I don't know how I pulled that into back attack, but we're gonna take it because when you get a back attack on the enemy, it's a 100% chance to run away. And I could use my last Skip Sandwich Deluxe, but I'm so close to the end here, I'm gonna save it for later. Because the next section I'll be walking through water and I won't get the same effect from the sandwich anyway. Alright. Let's put on the C pendant. Let's put on the C pendant. The C pendant. See, there we go. And menuing is awesome. Hey, Jay's my hero. Thank you. I am definitely going to need it, especially since that Kraken is just right there at the end of the hallway here. Nope, nope. Stay over there. Go away. Go away. Go away. He's not gonna go away, is he, guys? I'm gonna make a break for it. Oh, yeah, he got stuck on the little stalagmite. You. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, that's right. Stay over here. Stay down there even. Stay over there. This third Kraken, I don't have any clever tricks for. I kind of just... I totally wing it with this guy. Ooh, he's not moving where I need him to move. Yeah, he's decidedly not moving where I need him to move. I'm gonna try and make him go spawn somewhere else. Ah! Come on. Come on. No. Ah. I'd really like to avoid this fight, but I may just take it in a moment here. Sod it. It'll be alright. It's not like these guys are tough, it's just, you know, it's a waste of time. I'm gonna start off with a heal here because I didn't realize how low I was. So you can see why Ness needs to hang on to the Franklin badge, why we take the extra time it takes to go and get it. Because these Krakens, for one thing, the Krakens have lightning, but Gygas can also throw lightning at you. And between that and the Sea Pendant, for this section of the game, Ness is invincible to a lot of the nasty attacks, especially PK Flash has a chance to just straight up one-hit KO you from any hit point. Just boom, you just die. Which, you know, that's awesome. But Sea Pendant makes you 100% immune to that spell. If you accidentally sell your Sea Pendant, like I did one time, you can buy an Earth Pendant here in Magic Hand that only has a 50% chance to block the spell. See why we... the Dragonite is a nice bit of damage. Oh, he put the shield on. I'm gonna need to heal up now. Alright, that's a short spell, that's good. And we're gonna let our health tick up here a little bit. I'm gonna wait for 200. 18, 19. Super bomb. Oh no, we lifed up. I'm gonna heal up again. Yeah, it's a good thing I did. See, now the problem is I'm out of big damage dealing spells. And he's got his shield on. So these bashes are just gonna get reflected. Did I put this Magic Cat Bant on? I did. Oh man. We're gonna have fun with this. I need some better damage rolls than that. Yes! Man, I got nervous when the bat did 35 points of damage. I haven't actually ever had to resort to the bat. Oh man, I thought that was gonna be way worse. That could have been really ugly. That's why you want to carry 3 super bombs, kids. At least 2. Definitely not just 1. I know that EarthBound, when it was re-released on Virtual Console, had a couple of different changes, and if you haven't noticed by now, there's a lot of flashing and flickering at different points in this game. I'm 99% certain that this sequence coming up ahead was changed because of concerns over struggling people with epileptic conditions. So you may want to look away for about a minute or so if that's something you want to be concerned with, and I will let you know when you can look back. But this scene in particular is pretty off the charts as far as like flickering images, rapidly changing images, things like that. I know some of the spells are also tuned down, but this scene in particular was also pretty up there. Yeah, now's the time you want to look away for sure. And the sequence is over. You are free to return to your regular viewing position. Saturn Valley. We are off to Saturn Valley. Fun fact, there's a magic butterfly spawn in Saturn Valley. There's a very low chance that on that teleport, the magic butterfly will spawn in your pathway, and you'll pick it up. Which is worth noting, because by the time you stop running from the teleport, you're pretty far away from the magic butterfly. So it has to fly up to Ness, using that very, very slow movement speed it does, you know, when you normally pick up a magic butterfly. And it takes a very long time for the magic butterfly to catch up to you, if that happens. Like it looks like the game soft locks, but it just takes it a while to figure out what to do, and it takes it a long time to actually do what it needs to do. But our next destination is actually Onett. And as I said about a bajillion times at the start of the run, we can't teleport to Onett. We have to teleport to Winters and go out of bounds, and then go to Onett. So, we haven't saved in a long time, so saving the game's always good. I am so happy I got through Ness's Nightmare. I was really worried about that when that bat did 35 damage. Oh my gosh. Now we're going out of bounds. So I'm gonna use my last skip sandwich here. Ooh, I could have saved that for the Gaia segment, but it's okay. As long as we get the extra movement speed out of it for as long as possible, that's really what matters. And when we went to Titanic Ant, we took a different path out of bounds to go to Onett. We went through the Traveler's Shack, and that would get us to Onett, but we still haven't done the prologue. So if you remember from the prologue, there's actually a police blockade pretty close to Ness's house that prevents you from actually going into the city, and that blockade is still there. So I still couldn't walk up to Ness's house to get up to the meteorite like I need to. So you have to take this longer pathway to get there. One of the most handy things about being in the stairs glitch is you don't have to worry about enemy encounters. They can't touch you. They just go right through you. So you can walk straight up to the meteor. You can see the police are still here. Pokey's still here. Unfortunately, even though we can walk through walls, we still cannot teleport through walls. So I'm gonna come up here and teleport to Saturn Valley. Alright, now I gotta move some equipment around. Rabbit's Foot to Jeff. The C pendant to Paula. Give the Franklin badge to Paula. Yep, multi-battle rockets. Good. Nope. Equip the stuff I just moved around. Very important you equip the rabbit's foot, otherwise Jeff can't actually hit Gygas with the bottle rockets. And then you're just going to be throwing your hands up in the air, very, very confused, cursing your rotten luck. When in the end, it was all your fault. It's all your own doing. Also, we haven't stayed at a hotel before, so we get all the messages that Paul's supposed to send out psychically when you stay at a hotel. This is the game telling you, hey, this is the last chance you had to go explore and get ready for the game. Which means you get to watch this whole, you have to read this whole block of text twice, because the game assumes that you actually left and came back, and may have forgotten how this actually works. Who's gonna learn? Starstorm Omega. Our last spell of the game. We've taken the machine back to the past, the Faceless Sorter, and this is the location that Gygas is supposed to be at. This is where the attack is supposed to happen, but he's many years in the past, so we have to use a separate Faceless Sorter to get back there. But the Faceless Sorter 3, however, cannot teleport living material, so we need to extract their souls and put them into the bodies of robots. There's a fair amount of flashing in this segment too. I'm sorry, I forgot about it until I saw it. Also, the nice dentist drill, because that's always pleasant to listen to. And now everybody but Ness is a robot, because of course there's no robotic Pajama Ness. Also, this is the one time we get to talk to our dad the entire game. Save the game, Dad. Reset. It's the end of our conversation with Dad. Which makes it a little more wistful if you think about it. Because obviously Robot Ness, his voice is a little bit different. His dad says, you know, you sound like you have a cold or something. Are you okay? You know, he's a little bit worried about you. The one time you get to call and talk to your dad in this category, you've turned into a robot, theoretically, and you're not entirely sure you can actually make it back alive. Might be the one time you ever get to talk to him. But we're gonna be okay, cause Gygas ain't got nothing on us. Here's to hoping, at least. I walked right through the door trigger. Alright, so I got no extra super bombs. No extra items at all. This is gonna be this will be okay. It just might take a couple of extra turns over what I would ideally like to be able to do. The most important thing by far in this fight is that Paulo casts PSI Shield on the party to block pretty much almost all the incoming damage. The issue is Gygas gets to go before Paula, and if Gygas uses his strongest attack, Paula does not have enough hit points to scroll through even to get to her turn. So you have a couple of options. Option A is to let Paula die, res her, and try again. Option B is to throw a boiled egg at her and hope that the turn order works out correctly, and that's what I'm gonna try here. PSI Shield, goods, boiled egg. That boiled egg that Jeff starts the game with. That's what we're gonna go with here. Okay. Yep, there's Memes B, so Paul's gonna die. Now if Jeff goes first... No, come on, go Jeff. There we go, Jeff threw the boiled egg. And you can see Paula definitely would never have gotten to her turn. Oh, but Jeff died. That's bad, too. And Jeff missed a shield. That's nasty. Okay. I didn't realize Jeff was gonna die. Let's try and get paralyzed down again. What do I have? I have absolutely... She can't do a thing for me right now. I need to get Jeff back up. Because Jeff has all my multi-bottle rockets, which is my biggest chunk of damage right now. It's gonna be like that, huh? It's just gonna be like that. I need to get some damage down. This may end up being a reset regardless. I got one multi-bottle rocket out. But I'm not getting any star storms out because I have to keep resin people. Eesh. And I need Paula. We may end up resetting this fight. Did not get a good start here. Yeah, because now I can't res Paula. Alright, we'll just do that again. Gygas can be a real pain in the butt. I can't believe Jeff died there. That was very unfortunate. And what would be really nice there is if I didn't have to sell those 2 cups of life noodles. If I had managed to carry those through the whole game, those would have been really handy right there. What are you gonna do? That's just the RNG of the Gygas fight. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. Especially if Jeff goes down. If Ness went down, I wouldn't have even worried about it. But Paula and Jeff have to at least get out of the first phase. And it's really nice if you can get some damage out of Pooh, but it's not necessary. Absolutely, the only person who can even try to res right now is Pooh with his healing Omega spell. Ness doesn't get access to it, or rather, he doesn't have it at this level at least. I don't have I closed chat by accident. Become the embodiment of evil himself. try and paralyze Pokey, which would also be really nice, because Pokey can't deal damage. And we got the weak attack this time, so everybody's gonna survive, and the boiled egg's gonna kind of be wasted, but that's okay. It should only cost us maybe one round of turns. Got the shield up. I didn't see if paralyzed landed or not. It did. Good. Then you can just beat him up. Throw freeze down. Finally get that multi-bottle rocket out. And throw freeze on Pokey. And you want to be sure to cast only single target spells for this first phase. If you deal any damage to Gygus, I'm pretty sure you need a really nasty counterattack, I think is the issue. But also dealing damage to Gygus does nothing in this section. The only person you have to take down is Pokey. Bash. Freeze. Whoop, goods. Auto rocket. Which means you also want to make sure you hit the right person with your spells. Isn't this terrifying? I'm terrified too. His mind was destroyed by his own incredible power. Yes, yes, yes. But now I don't have to worry about that counterattack. Or, now I don't have to worry about being damage to only one person. I can just unload with my biggest, most powerful things here. That multi-bottle rocket. But funny enough, I was so worried about losing the extra multi-bottle rocket, and I have one extra here at the end that I can't even throw. Because you can't actually hit this phase with a multi-bottle rocket. Alright, so we're on the last phase of Gygus here. You must really be at the end of your rope. Pokey's taunting you. He's like, you must be at the end of your rope. You must be experiencing absolute terror. Why don't you scream out for help? Scream, mommy and daddy. I'm gonna wet my pants. He likes throwing the smack talk out. And then he runs away like a little bitty coward. I'm gonna throw one life up on Paula, but at this point, the only person in the party who matters is Paula. Everybody else, honestly, right now, is costing me frames by being alive. Because Paula's going to take Pokey up on his advice. He said, call out for help in the darkness, and that's exactly what Paula's gonna do for us. So this is round 1. Of Paula using the often underused pray command that she has in her inventory to pray for help. And then as she does so, you get to see these nice little cutscenes of the people you've met and helped along the way, having this weird gut feeling that they need to stop and pray and think about Ness and his party and those 4 little kids that are out there trying to save the world. Something may have gone wrong, but they need their help. Or if you like it a little less cozy, touchy-feely than that, it's kind of like Paula spraying for a spirit bomb, and everybody on the planet has to send their energy in this moment. And so that's essentially what's going on here. Ooh, Paula did get solidified by that spell, so she lost her turn on this round. Oops. So that's gonna be one extra turn we need. There's number 2. We never met these people. I have no idea who they are. That's actually the Lordmau5. They're a band in the game that you have to help out a couple of times. They take a couple of bad deals with theaters, and they're forced to play show after show after show, and you end up having to bail them out by basically buying out their contract. One time by using an item literally called Wad of Cash, the other time by finding a very expensive diamond and just handing it over out of the goodness of your heart. We got this number 3. There's number 4. Alright. Going good, going good. Here's Tony and Sven. I don't think I mentioned, but the last sequence was of Paula's parents and her family at the daycare that her parents run. See Pooh's family now. Just a couple more rounds to go. Who is next? This is a man named Frank, who is one of the first bosses that you fight. He used to lead a gang called the Sharks that were terrorizing Onet, and the Onet arcade specifically, as their headquarters, I believe. And Frank has a robot he created called the Frankenstein Mark II. If I'm remembering correctly, it's actually been a while since I've played this outside of Pajama%. It's your first tough fight of the game. But after you beat him, he kind of goes good. You'll heal the party if you go and talk to him and stuff like that. Poor Nessa's mom, or poor DSP's mom, they did a bad job of using the names you donated for in this run, and for that I should apologize. DSP's mom here has no idea Nessa even left the house. Probably just finding out now, oh my gosh, where's my little baby boy? What happened to him? But she's praying for us too. back. Augur, oh, Augur, oh. Can't think of anybody else. Someone please help us. Paula's call was absorbed by the darkness, so Twitch chat, this is your moment. Get your gift, please. Take energies ready. Get ready to spam them in chat, because this is your moment, guys. That is time, by the way. I'm sorry, I forgot time's going to be right there at the start of the block. Go-Go and her friends touch the heart of somebody. Who is that? I don't recognize that name. It's not coming all the way through. You gotta boost the signal. Tic-tac. Tic-tac cat. There it is. Twitch chat kept praying. You guys, beloved Twitch chat, get to deal the final blow to Gaius. Also, nothing I'm going to be able to do, but this is probably going to be rip the stream quality here with this background. Totally irresponsible of her to let us leave in our pajamas. You did. It's okay. Most EarthBound categories don't actually call time there. I've got it at 2:15:03 on my side. If that's something you can manually mess with. If not, that's okay. No, not the end of the world. Clearly not the end of the world, because the war against Gaius is over and we're all standing. And then, we were worried that our souls may not be able to return to our bodies for a while there. But you can see, look! These weird little orbs coming out of the robots. Where are they going, and what are they? And of course, if you subscribe to certain fan theories about certain multiverses and perhaps certain other games, perhaps one of these little tiny floating orbs didn't quite go where EarthBound seems to lead you to believe it went. But that's a totally different game and a totally different rabbit hole to dig into, of course. Yeah, it was my fault. When I realized time was there, I was like, oh, I was so busy trying to get chat hyped up, I forgot to tell you time was coming up. That was entirely my fault. Don't feel bad about it. Yeah, that is it on time. And I actually stopped stream, so I don't know if I'm still on or not, but I was a little bit underestimated, so I'm going to keep mashing through text here, because we haven't rolled the credits yet, which works a little bit weird in Pajama percent. As you might imagine, because nothing else has gone right so far. So if I am allowed, if I do have time to roll the credits, I would like to, and if not, I will get ready for gunpoint. But I'm going to keep mashing through text as if that's what I'm going to be doing until I get a call from a higher up. But again, even now, cannot teleport to Onett. Alright, so we gotta save the game and reset and go out of bounds. Because, you know, that's just how things roll in Pajama Percent. The way you're supposed to actually start the credit sequence is to either escort Paula home and then go to your, go back home yourself, or you can just bring Paula with you and go back home and say hi to Mom, and she's super excited to meet, to see you again and meet your little girlfriend. But we can't teleport to Onett. We could teleport to Tucson, but if we try to walk from Tucson to Onett, we never fought the police, so the roadblock between Onett and Tucson is still there. So that's not an option, so we get to do this lovely number. And of course, I'll let you hear the music a little bit. Of course, when you're walking out of bounds, for the entire run, we've been using audio cues. When the music changes, we change direction. Everything in the game is using the happy post-game music. So, that's a little more difficult. But as you could hear, when you're in an area with a waterfall, you can still hear the waterfall in the background, and that's the cue I'm listening for anyway. And certain other places, you'll be able to hear certain different sound effects, so we're not completely lost in the dark here. But it is much more difficult. Go. See, roadblock's still there. You know what? Actually, I might have to go home first. But I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I gotta go home first, mainly because I have to get back in bounds. Okay, let's let the be with you a little bit longer. But in order to actually roll the credits, the first thing we're gonna have to do is finish the prologue. You can't finish the game before you start the game. You can't do that. That's just silly. Don't be rubbernecking. And Pokey's over here talking more smack. Just tried to kill us, dude. Not just us. You just tried to kill everybody in the world. Subject the universe to your, rule, or whatever your big plan was. I don't know what it was, but you're super evil. Come home, DSP. Then, you scoot off the bed to, continue the prologue a little bit. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Who could be knocking at this time of night? Would you answer it? Yeah. Look who it is. Oh man, it's Pokey. Oh dear. Didn't we just, beat you up and blow you up with bottle rockets or something? No, I guess not. Your brother's missing. Blah, 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 blah. It's like the game has never started. And in fact, if you keep playing through this way, you can go ahead and just kind of do a half new game plus mode, And I'm not sure how far along you can get in the game that way, but at some point your mod does make you change. Which is why you have to stop time when you're doing Pajama percent, because you actually have to actually change. But now Mom realizes, hey, the game's over. And now you can roll the credits, as you should do in a speedrun. Get to see the credits. Chance, very cool credit sequence. You get a wonderful little medley of music. You go through a photo album that we ended up skipping. There are 2 of Ness's sisters there, but that's okay. But I believe I need to scoot along and get ready for gunpoint now. Nope, not Pajama percent anymore. guys see on the layout that the estimate and so forth has changed, and I loathe to cut off the credits early, but I also don't want to keep people waiting. So, just going to take a little bit of time to let Gunpoint load up. Because I love the credits music for EarthBound. As you can see, we only got the... Oh wow, you do get the second picture here near the end. You only get the one picture though, but if you play through casually or do like an all-picture speedrun, the credit sequence will flip through all the pictures you've taken. And if you have party members that are knocked out at that time, they'll actually show up as ghosts in the picture album at the end, which is a really neat little thing. It just goes to show that the credits aren't hard-coded. It does check and see what pictures you took and the state you were in when you took those pictures, and will modify it accordingly. But I've been given the okay to go ahead and switch my layout over. So I'm gonna pop up Gunpoint here, which is not